There's something about you that reality can't quite figure out. Like you're broadcasting on a frequency that makes the quantum field pause and go, wait, what is this? You've got this intensity inside you that's so real, so powerful, that existence itself seems to hold its breath when you walk into a room. Most people don't see it. They can't. They're too busy looking at surfaces, at masks, at the carefully edited versions we all show the world. But I see you. I see this raw power moving under your skin like electricity trying to break free, like lightning that's been contained but never tamed. And honestly, it scares me, not because you're dangerous, but because you represent something way more threatening than that. You're proof that we're all infinite beings just temporarily having this human experience. And when that truth gets lived, when it gets breathed into reality through someone like you, everything changes. The entire game shifts. You've been walking through a world that kept telling you to make yourself smaller, dim your light, question your gut feelings, doubt who you are at your core. Society, family, institutions, you see, they all had the same message: fit in, blend in, don't stand out too much. But here you are, still standing. You survived every attempt to shrink you down. Every system designed to convince you that being ordinary was your only option, your safest bet, your smartest choice. But you were never ordinary. You couldn't be even if you tried. It's not in your nature. It's like asking the sun not to shine or asking the ocean not to have depth. Some things just are what they are. Those dark nights you pushed through, the ones that felt like swimming through concrete, where every movement took everything you had, those weren't just hard times, those were initiations. Every sleepless hour, every moment of despair, every time you had to choose between giving up and taking one more breath, the universe was forging you into something unbreakable. Something that can't be destroyed by circumstance or crushed by pressure. Think about what you've actually survived. Really take a moment and look back at your journey. The laws that should have destroyed you but instead taught you about impermanence, about the temporary nature of all things in physical form. The betrayal that should have closed your heart permanently but instead showed you how deep your capacity for love runs, how much you can feel and still keep your heart open. The failure that should have crushed you but instead revealed you can always begin again, that every ending is just a new starting point waiting to be recognized. None of this was random, none of it was punishment. Each experience was precisely designed and calibrated by the intelligence of the universe to develop specific parts of your hidden power. The laws taught you at a cellular level that nothing external can touch who you really are at your essence. Your core remains untouched. The betrayal taught you to trust your inner knowing above everything else, even when everyone around you says you're wrong. The failure taught you that your worth has nothing to do with outcomes or achievements. It's about your willingness to keep showing up, regardless of what happens around you. You thought you were just surviving, just putting one foot in front of the other to make it through each day. But you were being prepared for something far greater than you realized. You thought you were just getting through it, just enduring until things got better, but you were being transformed at levels you couldn't consciously perceive. You thought you were enduring, gritting your teeth, and bearing it. But you were being initiated into levels of consciousness most people never touch in their entire lives, levels that aren't even talked about in mainstream understanding. Those walls closing in on you from every direction, creating a sense of being trapped with no escape route, those circumstances that seemed designed to crush your spirit into dust, those storms that made survival feel impossible, where you wondered how you'd make it through another day. None of that was random. Those were tests. The cosmos asking, how powerful is this one? How much can they transform? How bright can their light shine when everything tries to put it out? And your answer? You kept moving. Even when every logical part of your brain screamed to stop, to surrender, to accept defeat as your final destination, something deeper whispered, not yet. That whisper isn't hope. It's not optimism or positive thinking. It's recognition. Your consciousness recognizing itself as infinite, as eternal, as a piece of the same creative force that spoke the universe into existence. That force that organized chaos into galaxies, that turned hydrogen into stars, that created life from elements, SES. That same force lives in you. That recognition doesn't depend on circumstances. It doesn't waver when the world falls apart. It doesn't negotiate with fear or compromise with limitation. It just is. And that terrifies reality, because reality, the way most people experience it, depends on limitation, on scarcity, on the collective agreement that we're small, finite beings at the mercy of forces beyond our control. You threaten that entire setup just by existing, by breathing, by choosing expansion over contraction, growth over stagnation, love over fear. You're a walking contradiction to everything the collective consciousness has agreed to believe about human limitation. In the comments, drop one word that captures the energy you're choosing to carry forward. Maybe it's trust, maybe it's flow, maybe it's power, maybe something uniquely yours. Let that word be a declaration, a quantum seed you plant, not just here, but in the field itself. Your word matters because it's setting an intention, making a statement to the universe about who you're choosing to become. This isn't just typing a comment, this is quantum communication. Here's what nobody tells you about carrying this level of consciousness, this degree of power, this intensity of awareness. It makes you different in ways that can't be explained to people who haven't walked this path. It's not something you can just describe over coffee or explain in casual conversation. You see connections others miss. Patterns emerge for you that remain invisible to others. You feel energies others can't perceive. Like you're tuned to frequencies most people's receivers can't pick up. You know things without knowing how you know them. Information just arrives in your awareness without a clear source. This isn't imagination. This isn't wishful thinking or making things up. This is what happens when consciousness gets refined through experience, purified through suffering, expanded through your willingness to feel everything without resistance. You didn't read about this in a book or learn it in a workshop. You earned it through lived experience. You've developed quantum intuition, the ability to read the field of possibility around every situation, the capacity to sense which choices lead to expansion and which lead to contraction before you even make them. The gift of knowing not just what is, but what could be. It's like having access to the blueprint of reality before it manifests. This intuition runs through your entire nervous system. It's not just in your head, it's embodied. It speaks through sudden knowing that drops into your awareness, through unexplainable urges that make no logical sense but feel absolutely right, through how your body responds to different people and situations before your mind catches up. It's your consciousness directly interfacing with the intelligence underlying all existence, having a conversation with reality itself. But here's the challenge nobody prepared you for, the thing they don't mention in the spiritual books or manifestation courses. When you can sense potential in every situation, when you feel possibilities others can't see, when you know what's possible but others stay committed to what's familiar, it gets lonely, really lonely. You find yourself in conversations where people discuss problems at length that have obvious solutions sitting right there. You watch people struggle with choices where the answer seems clear as day. You feel excited about possibilities, while others focus only on obstacles, on all the reasons something can't work or won't happen. This isn't superiority. This isn't arrogance or thinking you're better than anyone. This is just what happens when you operate at a different frequency than those around you. It's like having access to extra channels on the radio while others only hear static. You're picking up signals they can't detect. Skills can be learnt, talents can be developed, intelligence can be cultivated through study and practice. But what you carry, this force that keeps you moving forward despite everything, that's not something you can teach or acquire. You either have it or you don't. It's innate. It's part of your essential nature, the weight of everything life has placed on your shoulders, the burdens you've carried, often without acknowledgement or recognition, the responsibilities you've accepted when you could have walked away, the pain you've processed through your system, the losses you've grieved, the fears you've faced head on, all of it served one purpose, to show you just how much power you actually contain. Most people would have broken under a fraction of what you've experienced. Most would have given up, given in, chosen numbness over feeling, safety over growth, the familiar hell they know over the unknown heaven that might exist beyond their current reality. They would have built walls, shut down, armored up, closed off. But not you. You chose differently. You keep choosing differently every single day. even when choosing differently is harder, scarier, more uncertain. And that choice reveals something crucial about who you are. You have access to a source of strength that doesn't depend on circumstances. You contain a wellspring of resilience that can't be depleted by experience. Your essence is literally indestructible, not metaphorically, literally. Your mind, the way it works, how it finds patterns in chaos, solutions in impossibility, hope in devastation, that's not normal human functioning. That's consciousness operating at a frequency most people can't even perceive, let alone maintain throughout their day. You process reality differently. You think everyone thinks like you. You assume everyone feels as deeply. You believe everyone sees what you see. They don't. What's natural to you is miraculous to others. What feels effortless in your awareness requires tremendous strain for most people. What you consider basic compassion, basic understanding, basic love, that's operating from a level of consciousness most people spend lifetimes trying to access, if they ever access it at all. And you just exist there, naturally, effortlessly, without even trying. Like a fish in water, you don't even realize you're swimming in a frequency most people have never touched. This is what makes you so powerful. This is what makes you so threatening to a reality built on the premise that humans are limited, small, powerless creatures subject to forces beyond their control. You're a walking refutation of that entire premise. You're living proof that premise is false. Every day you wake up and choose to be yourself, you challenge the foundation of consensus reality. Every time you choose love over fear, you crack the foundation of a reality built on scarcity. Every time you choose growth over safety, you demonstrate that expansion isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Every time you choose hope over despair, you prove consciousness is more powerful than circumstance. You're literally restructuring reality with every choice you make. But here's what no one tells you about carrying this level of power. It's lonely, it's isolating. It's exhausting to be surrounded by people who can't see what you see, feel what you feel, understand why you make the choices you make. You're constantly translating yourself down, dimming yourself, explaining yourself to people who don't have the reference points to understand. You've probably felt crazy at times, wondered if you're imagining things, questioned your perception, doubted your instincts even when they were screaming at you. You've probably thought, maybe I'm making this up, maybe everyone else is right and I'm wrong. That's not weakness. That's the natural response of a powerful being trying to fit into a reality that wasn't designed for their level of consciousness. It's like trying to run advanced software on outdated hardware. There's going to be friction. The secret that changes everything: stop trying to fit. Stop making yourself smaller. Stop explaining your choices to people operating from a completely different frequency. You can't explain color to someone who's only ever seen black and white. You can't explain music to someone who's only ever heard silence. Start recognizing your difference isn't a problem to solve. It's a gift to embrace. Your sensitivity isn't weakness. It's a superpower. Your ability to feel everything, process everything, transform everything through your consciousness, that doesn't make you fragile. That makes you a force of nature. Think about what sensitivity actually means. It means you have instruments of perception so refined they can detect energies and frequencies others can't imagine exist. It means your nervous system can process information at levels that would overwhelm most people. You're not overly sensitive. This sensitivity lets you read people's intentions before they speak, sense the energy of environments before you enter them, feel the truth beneath words, the reality beneath presentation, the essence beneath personality. You can feel what's not being said. You can sense what's hidden. You can detect what's coming. Your refusal to accept limitation, your instinct to push against boundaries, your natural inclination to question everything and trust your inner knowing. That's not rebelliousness. That's consciousness recognizing itself as unlimited and refusing to pretend otherwise. That's your soul refusing to play small. Every boundary you've pushed, every limit you've questioned, every authority you've challenged, you've been doing consciousness work, testing reality's flexibility, discovering where walls are real and where they're just collective agreements that can be changed. You've been a scientist of consciousness your whole life, running experiments on the nature of reality itself. But before we go deeper into how to actually use this power, if you're feeling like something's finally clicking, if part of you is realizing your own power maybe for the first time, hit that like button, because like attracts like in the quantum field. And subscribe to stay with this space, grow with us. This isn't just a channel, it's a frequency. A community of conscious creators who get exactly what you're going through. If this resonates even 1%, hit that bell icon because you're stepping into a space where awakenings like this are our foundation. We're building something here, and you're part of it. The world needs people like you, not people who've learned to be like you through some program or training, but people who naturally, effortlessly, authentically are like you. The world needs consciousness operating at your frequency, your particular blend of power and compassion, strength and sensitivity, vision and practicality. This combination is rare and it's needed now more than ever. But here's where most powerful people get stuck, where their journey stalls out. They recognize their power but don't know how to wield it. They feel their strength but don't know how to direct it. They sense their potential but don't know how to actualize it. They have all this energy but no clear channels for it to flow through. Power without direction is chaos. Strength without purpose is destruction. Potential without actualization is just unrealized possibility floating in the ether, never landing, never manifesting, never becoming real. So, let me share 3 fundamental principles that transform raw power into conscious creation, overwhelming sensitivity into precise intuition, unlimited potential into manifested reality. These aren't theories. These are practical, operating principles that work. The first principle is coherence. Your power is real but scattered in multiple directions. Your consciousness touches everything but isn't focused on anything specific. Your energy affects everyone around you but isn't intentional or directed toward outcomes. You're broadcasting on all frequencies at once, which means you're not broadcasting clearly on any single frequency. Coherence means gathering all that scattered power into a single focused beam. It means organizing your energy instead of letting it spray in all directions. Think of it like this. The sun's energy is incredibly powerful but diffused across vast space. It warms earth but doesn't create fire. A magnifying glass takes that same energy and focuses it into one concentrated beam at a single point. That focused beam can start fires, burn through materials, create transformation the diffused light never could. Same energy, different organization, completely different results. Your consciousness is like the sun, powerful, vast, affecting everything it touches. But without coherence, without focus, without intention behind it, it stays diffused and less effective than it could be. Coherence is your magnifying glass. It takes your natural power and focuses it into a beam so concentrated it can literally reshape reality at the quantum level. How do you achieve coherence in practical terms? Through the observer effect that quantum physics has been studying for a while. This is why meditation isn't just relaxation or stress relief. It's power training for consciousness, learning to gather your consciousness into one point, developing the muscle of attention that lets you direct awareness with precision instead of letting it scatter randomly across thousands of thoughts, worries, and distractions that don't serve you. But coherence isn't just focus. It's alignment of all your parts, making sure your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions all point the same direction. When these parts conflict, when you think one thing, feel another, believe something else, and do something completely different, your power cancels itself out before it ever reaches the external world. You're creating interference patterns in your own field. When they align perfectly in the same direction, your power multiplies exponentially. It compounds. It builds on itself. This is when miracles happen, when reality bends, when the impossible becomes possible. The second principle is resonance. Your power doesn't exist in isolation, separate from everything else. It's part of an interconnected field, a vast web connecting everything to everything else. Quantum entanglement isn't just a physics concept, it's how reality actually operates. When you align your frequency with what you want to create, you don't have to force anything through brute effort or struggle. You simply resonate into alignment with it, like tuning forks finding each other across distance. Most people try creating through effort, struggle, pushing against resistance, grinding, hustling, forcing. That's like trying to tune a radio by shouting at it. Doesn't work. Never has, never will. Creation happens through resonance, matching frequencies, becoming the energetic equivalent of what you want to experience. This is the secret most manifestation teachings miss completely. You already know this from direct experience. You've experienced those moments when everything flowed effortlessly, when unexpected doors opened without you even knocking, when perfect solutions appeared without struggle or strain, when life seemed to conspire in your favor and support your intentions, when synchronicities stacked on synchronicities. That wasn't luck, that wasn't coincidence or chance, that was resonance in action, your frequency aligning perfectly with what you were creating. You became a match and reality responded. Resonance works because everything is vibration at the most fundamental level. Your thoughts vibrate at specific frequencies. Your emotions vibrate. Your beliefs vibrate. Your desires vibrate. Even your cells vibrate. Everything is frequency. When you match your internal vibration to what you want to experience, you create sympathetic resonance. Like a tuning fork making another fork vibrate without touching it, your consciousness tuned to a specific frequency makes reality vibrate at that same frequency. You don't push reality, you invite it through resonance. This is how creation actually works at the quantum level, not through force or manipulation or controlling outcomes, but through harmonic alignment and frequency matching. You become what you want to experience, and then it has no choice but to show up. Drop a comment right now, sharing one thing you want to manifest that's most important to you in this moment. Maybe it's financial abundance, maybe it's a loving relationship, maybe it's vibrant health, maybe something uniquely yours. Let this be a declaration, a signal you send not just here, but into the quantum field itself. Your declaration matters because you're making your intention known to reality. You're broadcasting your frequency clearly. The third principle is embodiment. Power only in your mind is fantasy and daydreaming. Power only in emotions is drama without substance. Real power, the kind that transforms reality, lives in your body, in your nervous system, flowing through your cells, breathing through your lungs, pulsing through your heart. Embodiment means bringing consciousness into physical form so completely there's no separation between what you know and what you are, what you feel and how you move, what you believe and how you exist in the world. You become a living expression of your truth. Most spiritual teachings focus on transcending the body, rising above physical reality, escaping the limitations of form, leaving the body behind to access higher consciousness. That's completely backwards and missing the entire point. True power. Your body isn't a prison for your soul, it's technology for your consciousness. The most sophisticated instrument ever created for translating infinite potential into finite reality. Your nervous system is literally designed to bridge infinite and finite, to make the invisible visible, to anchor consciousness in form. When you embody your power, when you let consciousness flow through physical form without resistance or blocking, you become a walking miracle. You become a portal between dimensions, a bridge between quantum possibility and physical reality. This is where you transition from seeking power externally to becoming power itself from the inside out. From trying to manifest reality through techniques and methods to embodying reality as your natural state. From conscious transmission to being the broadcast signal itself, you stop doing manifestation and start being manifestation. Embodiment happens through cultivating presence, feeling your feet firmly on the ground beneath you, breathing consciously with full awareness of each breath cycle, moving with intentional awareness through space, letting your body anchor your expanded consciousness in physical reality instead of floating off into abstract realms or getting lost in mental concepts. When you embody your power, when you integrate consciousness completely with physical form, something extraordinary happens that changes everything. You stop being someone who occasionally has spiritual experiences that feel separate from normal life and transform into someone who is a spiritual experience continuously in motion. You stop being someone who occasionally accesses higher consciousness as a temporary peak state and evolve into someone who consistently expresses higher consciousness as their baseline normal. Now, pause and really let this land in your body, not just your mind. Feel the truth of what I'm sharing resonating at a cellular level. Feel how it vibrates with something deep inside you've always known intuitively, but maybe never had words or concepts for. Feel it in your bones, in your gut, in your heart. Comment this phrase right now: I am ready to stop hiding my power. This isn't just engagement for the algorithm. This is you making a conscious declaration to the quantum field that you're done pretending to be smaller than you are. You're signaling to reality itself that you're ready to step into the full magnitude of what you are. You're announcing your intention to the universe. This declaration is powerful because most of your power has been hidden from you your whole life. Not by external forces or some conspiracy, but by your own protective mechanisms that develop to keep you safe. Your psyche, your nervous system, your entire being has been protecting you from full awareness of your power because at a deep level, it knew you weren't ready to handle it responsibly. You needed time to develop the maturity, the wisdom, the grounding to wield this level of power without destroying yourself or others. But you're ready now. Ready because you've been tested repeatedly and passed those tests. Ready because you've proven you can handle intensity without breaking apart, sustain pressure without cracking under the weight, raw power without becoming corrupted by it or letting it go to your head. Ready because you've chosen love over fear enough times consistently that your default setting has fundamentally shifted from contraction and defensiveness to expansion and openness. This readiness isn't something you achieve through effort or checking boxes. It's something you recognize and remember within yourself. Something that's been developing and maturing in you through every challenge you've faced and overcome, every difficult choice you've made that tested your character, every moment you chose growth and expansion over comfort and familiarity. You've been in training your whole life for this moment. The world is changing rapidly all around us. You can feel it. Old structures crumbling, old systems failing, old ways of being becoming obsolete. What's emerging isn't just new structures or new systems. It's a completely new frequency of consciousness manifesting on this planet. A frequency that successfully includes and integrates both power and compassion, both strength and sensitivity, both unlimited potential and grounded practicality working in harmony rather than opposition. You're part of that emergence. You're one of the way showers lighting the path forward for others, one of the frequency holders maintaining the signal, one of the consciousness pioneers who incarnated here, specifically to demonstrate this emergence isn't happening in some distant future. It's happening now, through people like you willing to step out of the collective trance of limitation and into the truth of their power. People willing to be different, to stand out, to be seen. Now that you understand the terrifying truth of your power and what you're actually capable of, you're ready to explore how to harness the observer breath to literally breathe yourself into new realities. This ancient technique activates the quantum field through conscious breathing, letting you become what you desire rather than just wanting it from a distance. The science behind why this works will reshape everything you thought you knew about manifestation and reality creation. That's next, and you don't want to miss it.